Happy birthday to the twins. This is for you, Gemini. From the 1st through the 21st of the month, Mercury is going to be retrograde. It's going to travel retrograde. It's going to continue, though, in the sign of Taurus the bull, and that will cause you to sort of readdress sacred quests that you might have had, spiritual quests, sort of orthodox styles and classical styles of expressing yourself spiritually and expressing yourself when it comes to that very important spiritual aspect of your life that is indeed involving your 12th house, because Mercury is going to affect your 12th house as it transits retrograde from the 1st to the 21st through the sign of Taurus. So that's going to be why you're going to feel that way. Now, beginning on the 22nd of the month, Mercury will go direct, however. And that is going to still be in a sign of Taurus. It's going to still affect your 12th house, but rather than it being sort of old-fashioned types of or more orthodox types of spiritual or religious leanings, it's going to put you into a more forward-thinking, secular or humanitarian way of thinking. And Kabbalah, no matter if it's the traditional Kabbalah or if it's, new forms of Kabbalah, and various cultures that teach it, it doesn't really matter what culture it comes from. Kabbalah is sort of the science of spirituality, so that might help you manifest sort of a new way to approach your spirituality. All right, Gemini? Now, Mercury is known as the attribute of God, the winged messenger, and that's found in Acts 14:12, and they called Barnabas Jupiter, but Paul Mercury, because he was chief speaker. Now, Gemini, Venus will ingress into your sign. That planet will ingress into your sign on the 24th of the month, and that's going to journey in a direct fashion. But because it's going to be transiting through, in a direct manner, through your sign of Gemini, it is going to affect your first house, and that's the house of yourself and your appearances, how you look to others, how you look to yourself. That's going to be very important to you. All right. Now, this might cause you to fuss over yourself, or it might cause you to get so hypervigilant about how you appear. It might start to be to the detriment of your efficiency. So don't let that become to the point where you are not able to actually enjoy or be efficient with your life. Now, it's okay to be somewhat vigilant in these matters that concern you, but you don't want to become so preoccupied that you have sort of such an apprehension of what others think of you that you can't even enjoy the company of others. All right? Because if you're so self-conscious you can't, really enjoy yourself while you're in the company of others, you sort of have to find a position of comfort within yourself. And, not only how you appear with your physical appearance, but how you appear, does this person respect me? Does this person think I'm cool? Everyone respects themselves, and everybody wants everybody to think they're cool. And it doesn't, people will think you're cool or not, or respect you or not, according to what's going on in the cosmos. So that's going to change. Sometimes they're going to think you're silly, and sometimes they're not going to respect you. But that doesn't mean you need to react to it, because that will all change. And if you respect yourself, obviously, or you feel that you're cool enough for yourself, that's all you need to do. You don't need to worry about what other people are thinking of you, because, again, that's just because of cosmological happenings. That's really not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them, because they're looking at you from their own genetics, from inside their own head. They're looking through their eyeballs, which may or may not work properly. All right. Now, Venus, again, isn't your ruling planet. But still, because when it's in the first house, it affects you. Now, let's see how your ruling planet of Mercury is going to influence you this month, Gemini. And Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel, thank you for joining us. Your air guardian archangel is Raphael, and he speaks through to you from your Gemini zodiac angel, who is the angel Umbriel. That's your zodiac angel, your teaching angel Umbriel, whereas your guardian angel is a divine physician, who is Raphael. And Raphael rules over all the air signs. Now, this is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Gemini angel, Umbriel, who resides over the twins' mutable air nature. And these are his messages for you in the areas of love, money, and health. And stay tuned, because we're going to also, at the end of the transmission, after we give you these aspects, we're going to give you a rune stone that we got for you this month. And we're also going to give you a continuation on your Merkaba technique that we started last time. Now, we're not going to just go on and on with this in every video, because we are teaching a class, but this is just to give you a little taste. And if you're interested in our Merkaba classes, especially after you see the end of this video when we give you a little slice of it, and some of it is from our own sacred teachings of light that we've gotten in our order, from the Hermetic Order of the Alchemical Flame, of which I am the Imperatrix and the Hierophantia, so you can contact us if you want these classes, because they're very high teachings. And Gemini is very interested usually in teachings that are a little higher minded, because Gemini is very intelligent. You're very intelligent and imaginative sign. And that's not imagination in the sense that something isn't true. It's the imagination that is the doorway to learning higher consciousness. Okay, now for Umbriel's love, sex, and romance transmission for you with the help of the divine physician Raphael. Embrace your aspirations and hold on tightly to your hat, because you're about to get what you've wished for. So many people think that you can have your dreams only if you take a lot of pain, or some people even think you cannot have them. But actually, it's when you allow yourself to have your dreams. And you can have your dreams. It doesn't take that much pain or that much time, unless you feel, perhaps sometimes we all feel guilty about things, and so we don't allow ourselves to have things that we want. So when one stops punishing oneself, one can have what one wants. Now, if there's a question, there is always an answer. If there's a desire, there's always a fulfillment of that desire. God wouldn't give you desire if you didn't want to fulfill it. But if the desire is not coming from God, and it's not coming from the proper spiritual source, and it's actually coming from some lower nature, societal message from the lower nature, from the debased part of the nature, those messages are going to cause you all manner of ill health when it comes to your relationships, even your finances, and eventually your physical health. So to continue with this, so many people, they tell you that it's too good to be true, it's not true, but that's not the case. The secret to making your dreams come true is to decipher the hidden code embedded within the name of or title of your objective. There's always a secret in the name. Now, the answer is right before you if you but look at the entirety as it is, as it really is, rather than how you want it to be. So you have to look at the whole situation. You have to look at it honestly. And you also, again, the secret is in the name. Now, irritation generates inflammatory uprisings if oppressed peoples, which have obvious common sense outcomes in love, just as they do in social or national circumstances. Now, the trick is everyone feels that they're an oppressed victim. Everybody feels that way. When when any conflict arises, be it nationally or be it in love, there's really no difference. It's all the same thing. Whether it's two countries fighting or a husband and a wife fighting or even a family brother and sister fighting, no matter what it is, it's the same thing. Okay? It's just the same thing as when there's any kind of conflict. And the trick there is that everybody feels they're the one that's oppressed, and everybody feels they're right. So we start from there. Now, refuse to participate in the victim-victimizer duality. And that's the key. Because the victim-victimizer duality, is the real thing that keeps kind of wars going and conflicts going. So watch your heart heal when you get rid of the victim-victimizer aspect. Now, taking on the role of either victim or victimizer will not serve you, not in the long run. It might serve you in the short term, but not in the long run. It'll just destroy everything in the long run. It's not good for long-term relationships to apply this, I'm a victim kind of a thing. Okay, now to get into Umbriel's money and wealth transmission. your benevolence will guide you to cheerful outcomes. And these are in the areas of finance, promotions, or business. Now, when it comes to doing business in a global economy with diverse cultures, the following sentiment comes to mind. Those whom God wishes to destroy, he first makes mad. It's very important. This is a quote by William Anderson Scott, and that's it's a misattribution to Euripides. But that's a very important thing. Again, those whom God wishes to destroy, he first makes mad. There's another quote that those whom the gods wish to destroy, they first make mad. But anger, it'll make you the one who's ultimately controlled. Because if you don't control yourself, others will control you. Because anger, if it's out of control, will allow others to sort of be able to speak badly of you. They'll have something to say. Whereas if you sublimate the anger, if you're feeling angry, any emotion for that matter, but this month it'll be about anger. If you sublimate it and use that energy for your creative endeavors, for your financial, this is especially true in finance, you will do very well. And that's the key. The sublimation. Okay, now for Umbriel's health and fitness transmission, again with the help of the divine physician who is Raphael. Moonlight becomes you this month, so speak up at least equal amounts of moonbeams and sun rays will benefit you. So you need to make sure that you expose your body to the sun, but also moonbeams. So you want to maybe go ahead and stand out in the moonlight and stand out in the sunlight and catch some rays and some beams. Okay, you need both channels open and working. That's the channels of Ida and Pingala, really. And only need to focus on balancing these channels rather than focusing on only one channel or the other. Better to focus on both to balance yourself this month. Of course, that's not always going to be true, Gemini, but this month, it's your birthday month, you need to balance yourself. Now for the rune stone prediction for you this month, Ingwaz. The message for you is the earth god Ing. He brings profitability, even pregnancy, with persistence endured, while eagerness breeds stagnation. So that's the message for this month from the runestones, which are very high. They're of a very high frequency. They are higher than the runestones because they deal in the body of light, causal levels, and the tarot cards are more on the astral and etheric plane, where that plane can serve to deceive. So just understand that. All right. What that does is that just places perhaps deception is a bad word. It places a veil, a thick veil, or maybe too many veils, over the light of the truth. And sometimes that's necessary because not all people can handle the truth in all of its glory when it's just blatant, cold light of day truth. Okay. Now, regarding your body of light, we want to talk a little bit here about the Merkaba meditation. We're also going to give you some information from our order, our inner order. Now, the Merkaba is the way you start the rotation of the Merkaba field is you want to start with the one that looks like the Star of David in a three-dimensional form. It's a hexagon or hexagram that, the three-dimensional form has both within it. Okay? And that's the earth one. And of course, for obvious reasons, you start with earth because it's grounding. If you start with one of the other ones like the air or water or fire hexagon, three-dimensional forms, it might make you feel a little bit ill or it might hurt you. So you don't want to start with that. You want to start with the earth one. Now, some people tell you to rotate it counterclockwise or clockwise in the beginning, based on whether you're male or female or whatever. But in reality, whether you should spin it clockwise or counterclockwise is in your DNA. And we can tell by looking at your iris. It's not iridology, but we can tell by looking in your iris. We can tell which direction you specifically should be spinning, because your internal Merkaba field as a whole, the whole thing, because if you don't do it precisely for you, it's not going to match you and it won't activate, because it's like a fingerprint. So you need to have it specific for you. And now we are teaching Merkaba classes. They're filling up fast. And you can visit www.readingsbyrosemary.com and contact us about our classes on Merkaba, because we're going to teach some of these high techniques. Now, in the future, when it gets more advanced, we can teach you how to spin the downward pointing pyramid in its opposite direction from the upward pointing pyramid, but that can really hurt you. That can cause grievous and permanent damage. So you don't want to do that without a master teaching. We are masters in this area, so you need to make sure you have a master in this area, otherwise you could hurt yourself. All right. Now, regarding the information I want to give you, some of this information is on the Sumerian tablets, but we got it from our higher spiritual guides, our holy guardian angel, and this is from the Hermetic Order of the Alchemical Flame. That the Sumerian cuneiform tablets to show the Tree of Life, and that is actually a constellation called the Tree of Life, and has 29 flowers on it in the cuneiform tablet or the Sumerian tablet. It's not a cuneiform tablet, it's a Sumerian tablet. It's a picture, it's a sculpture. When you see it, it has 29 flowers, and these 29 flowers are 29 stars in the constellation in the heavens, but what they don't tell you is that it's also an archway to heaven, which is the body of light. And in there's 29 chakras. Those stars, flowers are chakras in your body of light. It's in your body of light, and that is your spiritual body. So that's your glorified body, and that is the gateway to heaven, to building your glorified body that is immortal, that does not know death, and is not corrupt. If you utilize on your physical body, you'll activate corruption. So if you don't have someone who knows what they're doing guiding you through this, as we do, you could accelerate corruption in your body. You don't want to do that. You want to activate your immortal body that is free of corruption. All right, so that's some very high information that we're giving to you at this moment. And a disclaimer is in order here. High magic can be dangerous. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Now remember to chant your divine tone of I think, or try out the higher aspect of simply meditating on the quality of thinking. And be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Gemini. Now the ephemeris information, calculations for Eastern and Greenwich Mean Time. First we have the Eastern Daylight Time. For the new moon on the 6th of May 2016 at 3:30 p.m., 16 degrees Taurus, 41 minutes. The full moon on the 21st of May 2016 at 5:15 p.m., that's 1 degree Sagittarius, 13 minutes. For London Greenwich Mean Time, we have the new moon on the 6th of May 2016 at 7:30 p.m., that's at 16 degrees Taurus, 41 minutes. The full moon on the 21st of May 2016. That's at 9:15 p.m., 1 degree Sagittarius, and that's 13 minutes. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Join us again next month